In this video, we're going to cover how to start a new part file. We're going to practice good file management. We're going to go over what a ribbon is, and we're going to talk about what the model browser is and what to do if it accidentally disappears. If you're looking at the guided notes, we're specifically covering 14, 15, and 16. So let's go ahead and do that. So let's start a new part file. So remember, from this screen, we're going to go to the big new button, click on that. I want to make sure I'm under the English template, and I'm going to start a new part file because I'm working top to bottom. So standard inch IPT is the one we'll always use, and I'm going to hit create. It may take a minute or two to get that going. You're going to notice a few things that I want to call out. Right away up top, it has the name of the file. Yours probably says part 1 because this is the first part that you're making. You'll also notice down on the bottom, we can always go back. There's something called tutorials. There's something back to the my home. So you can have multiple files open down on the bottom down here. See, you may have multiple parts open later on. But to start off, if I ever walk around and look at your screen and it says like part 1 or part 2 or part 3 or part 4, I know that you haven't maintained good file management. So whenever you start a new part file, the first thing you should do is a save as into the new folder that you made for this project. So your specific teacher will tell you where to save to, but if you have me, for example, what I'd like you to do right now is navigate to your student folder. So this PC, so you're opening File Explorer, this PC shared, you're going to go to the V drive, dwest, the period that I have you, student folders, and go into your student folder. In there you should see the new Inventor folder that you made. And then you probably don't have anything else. Let's just make a practice folder. So I'm going to create a new folder. I'm going to go 0_ practice practice project, we'll call it. So again, I'm practicing good file management. The first thing I do whenever I start a new project, make a new folder for it in my Inventor folder. So now that I've done that, the first thing I do after I start a new part file is a save as. Now there's two ways you can get to this, and I'm going to just drop this down under File and click on Save As. Just click the big button right here, and then I'm going to Save As, and I want to navigate to my student folder. So I got to go V drive, dwest, period, student folder, into my folder. There's my Inventor, and there's the practice folder that I just made. Now let's practice a good naming convention. So since we're calling this practice project, it'll be practice _1 since this is my first save, and I'm going to hit save. As soon as I do that, you'll notice that up top the name has changed and same on the bottom. So that's how I know if you've saved the project yet. Make sure that you're maintaining good file management with every project we do. Okay, let's talk about what the ribbon is. So the ribbon is up top. It's this main bar at the top of the screen, and there are different ribbons. There's a 3D model, there's a sketch, there's an annotate, and so on down the line. Within these ribbons, you can perform specific tasks. So it's really like where all your tools are located. So in your notes, you could put the ribbon. There are multiple different ribbons, and they allow you to access various tools to complete various tasks. So, and maybe even give a description of where it's at. It's at the top of the screen. So a simple description of the ribbon and where it's at and kind of what it's used for. Within that ribbon, there are different things. There's a sketch panel, there's a create panel, and again, I'm under the 3D model. Sketch, create, modify. So we call these little areas panels within the ribbon. And the way that Autodesk Inventor works is you always work left to right. So you will always start with a 2D sketch. After you're done 2D sketching, you can extrude, revolve, sweep, and you can create the 3D model. And then after you've created a 3D model, you can modify it. So you can make changes like adding a hole or a fillet or a chamfer, or maybe a thread. So again, it works left to right with the ribbon. And let's put that in your notes as well. The ribbon works left to right. That's a key thing to remember. The other part that I want you to add your notes for your ribbon is that we'll always typically only use big buttons. What do I mean by that? If you see a little drop down like this, don't worry about that for right now unless I tell you to. We'll always use the big buttons. Whenever you see there's a little arrow, don't worry about it. We'll use the big buttons. So add that to your notes. Alright, so that's number 14. Let's go to 15. 15 is talking about something called a model browser, and it looks like this. So let's start off with where is that model browser located for your notes. You can put that it is on the left-hand side of the screen. Over here you see the model browser. And what the model browser is, and this you can add this to your notes, it's pretty much a history of all the work that you've done. So every time you do something in Inventor, it will create a history over here. And it's really nice because it allows you to go back and make changes, and also kind of see your path from start to finish. So that's all you really need to know about the model browser for right now. You can put that it's a history of all your work, and that it allows you to go back and make corrections or changes. The next part of the notes is what to do if this thing disappears like this. It's gone. And then you're going to be looking for it, and you're going to say, Mr. West, or whoever your teacher is, how do I get that model browser back? So in your notes, we're going to create a list of steps of how to get it back in case it ever happens. And if you ever ask me, how do I get it back? I'm going to say, go look at your Inventor notes. All right, step 1, what are you going to type? Step 1 is to click on, I got to remember now. Bear with me for a second. Click on the View ribbon. So step 1, click View ribbon. And maybe put View in parentheses so you remember you're clicking the View ribbon up top. So type that in for step 1. Click the View ribbon. Step 2, click User Interface. Step 2, click User Interface. Step 3, click Model. Check the model. Step 3, check model. As soon as you do that, your model browser will pop back up. So again, View ribbon, step 1, User Interface, step 2, check the model, step 3. And that'll be it for this video. So we covered those 4 topics.